And so
just give up on your people, Anton.
Yeah.
Who people?
Hey,
It's
hold on.
I can't accept the thing because Kevin just actually sat there and sit there and said that he takes the hit, knowing that he's going to get the backlash, but he said it's worth it to try to fight to change it.
Hold on.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time, y'all.
Every culture separates themselves from the degenerates within the people that look like them. All white people don't rock with white people. All Asian people don't rock with the degenerates in the Asian culture. We the only people that do that shit.
Yep.
Wait a minute, are you saying there should be segregation between black people?
I'm not going.
No, that's not what he told.
Whoa. Yes.
Y'all, can I say one thing real quick for the next person? Go, please.
Go
ahead, Ali.
Let's get Ali and Trigger, y'all.
There's a law that says that every living thing must abide by the shape it inhabits. Okay. So when we talk about discipline, you break down discipline. The first initial aspect of discipline is training people, their behaviors. So the other part is redirection of a behavior. So if you have two beings on earth, a man is supposed to be taught on what the purpose of his purpose first. That's the first thing when the wife school asks that. The part about discipline is purpose. So there's a lot of kids, and whether we in the mental health, whether we mothers and fathers, a lot of kids are not implemented purpose. They don't know what a man is. They don't know what a woman is. Those are primary things. So when you seeing kids be disciplined, it's almost for no reason. And that's why they keep getting disciplined, because they're acting out because they don't know who they are. The part that we could circle everybody in, because everybody made good points. But the point, again, what Anton is saying and emphasis on is that everybody's lying, because we put more emphasis on purchasing things. We put more emphasis on cars. We put more emphasis on houses. We put more emphasis on sex. We put more emphasis on pretending to be something we're not than we're put into investing in great quality people. So the first aspect of discipline is training a code of behavior. That's man and woman. The second aspect of discipline is punishment and redirecting, because you're not being disciplined and being purposeful. So if y'all all telling the truth, then you have to re-implement shaming and you have to re-implement punishment. And if you're not going to re-implement shaming and if you're not going to re-implement punishment, then you have to delete people. That's what Anton essentially is saying. So Absolutely. If we're truly disciplined people, we need to stop punishing ourselves and each other and stop pointing fingers. And we have to initially invest in our behaviors of a man and a woman. That's it. That's
Anton.
Hold on, let go. Go ahead, Trigger.
Yeah, so I agree 100% with Ali and Anton. So the interesting thing is that people don't even understand, like, as Anton said, black people are only people that attach themselves to their degenerates in their society. They don't want to separate themselves from them. That's why we can't grow as a people.
Right.
You're still worried about the people in the hood. Leave them behind. Let them come seek you out if they want to change. That's actually what has to happen in order for our kids to grow up the right way. People get on black people for not wanting to live in the hood. Well, what if you want your kids to go to better schools? What about that? Right? If that's not readily available in the hood, I can't make it happen just with my tax dollars. I got to go pay tax dollars where the schools are good. And another point is that we are at war for families. I need people to understand that this is not something that is easy to say. We are at war for families. In war, there are casualties. Some people going to have to die. And I need people to really get that through their head, that this is not a save people type of situation. This is a let them die off so we can survive. The group that decided to leave and make something better of themselves can survive. We got to cut the cancer out. Right now, people are like, well, we can all make it. This ain't no kumbaya. People are going to have to die. And it's us, the moms, the dads, the people who are going to make the hard decisions that are going to determine who lives and who dies.
Why do we think they're the degenerates? Why we don't see them as the most rebellious people? Why don't we if you had two children in your house and you rewarded one for the same thing and punished the other one for the same thing, they're getting rewarded. A lot of people that's in those positions are getting rewarded for what they're doing. So we keep going back to conversations where we go back to the women, we go back to the so-called lower vessel of people who actually in a rebellious state as well too, but being rewarded for living how they're living. Why don't we go and fight the people who are rewarding them? Why can't we just say as a group, as men, we have to address the system that is doing this to us? Why can't we ever come to that instead of like collectively? We acknowledge what our women are going through. We acknowledge what we're going through, but we know we're all being put against each other and we're getting all deviating away from our behaviors, our original behaviors. How can we say
the people that grew up in those positions, which is a lot of our families generationally grew up in the hood, grew up in those positions, and we label them as degenerates. Trigger automatic. So, hold on, family. You got after that. There's a small percentage of people who are doing the things we'll talk about if we say degenerates. I broke down a whole bunch of that data the other day. It's 21 million women that exist. There's 19 million men that exist. There's 6,000 murders that occur every year, which means most Black people don't kill. Let's say that first, okay? So you have to present you have to make people look a certain way in order to divide them. So in order to unite, we have to address what's rewarding those people for being that way, and use those people, because the kids I work with those kids that got kicked out of all them schools ended up being the most loving and strong people I knew. They just rebelled against the system. We are coexisting. We got a lot of monsters on this panel that are really not who they seem to be. And I don't mean like, I mean, there's a dog. No, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm saying there's Malcolm X's and there's Mandela's on this panel, might not be on this panel, but there's people that are hiding something outside of what you're saying. Most of us were supposed to coexist and go back and save those people like Moses. We were supposed to go get the Jews out of Egypt, not destroy them too.
That's so he got the millions. He can go back.
So let me respond. Let me respond to that real quick. So you're saying take over the system and all that. That stuff sounds real great, but we can't do it. I don't know why people are so concerned with the system. All right, because
so how did America become America?
Like I said earlier, what credibility do you have to take over the system? Like I said, if we were so focused. Look, Asians, Indians, they're not worried about the system. They created their own system. There is not a major city in America without a Chinatown. Put Chinese police Chinatown.
Right. You realize the title. The first thing
they are, our own power to do that. But we don't have
they are asked in the beginning of this is don't teach your kids weakness. And you didn't even think for 1 second and said we can't do that. When all these civilizations conquered another civilization to be in the position they're in. America used to be British people. Why are we so fast to go? We can't do it. That's why our ancestors said keep hope alive. Like those are sitting there saying, no, I'm asking you, Trigger. You didn't even think. You just quickly went.
No, hey, but I just told you. But I did say the people the people that desire better outcomes, section yourself off. We cannot take people that are going to kill the society we're trying to build with us. You're still trying to save society. I ain't trying to save it.
Nobody said. First, no one said. First of all, let's be this. When you talk about propaganda and leverage, the man that rules, he connects with the people that love him, and then he pimp everybody else. You don't leave those people. You pimp them as well. You either pimp them to do evil, you pimp them to do good. That's what an intelligent person does. So if you don't want to rule people and you want to lead people, you got to pimp them in the right direction. So we lead those people while the people in power use those people.